happens until you do what you do with them.
Oh, right.
I'll be backstage listening.
Okay. So here's what's happening, guys. Jensen and Jared are about to take the stage. Until you show them how much love and passion and energy is in this room. And sing this song with me. Here we go. This hasn't happened since the Philadelphia show, 1976. What else we got, boys?
Amazing!
Eskimo, haven't heard Eskimo? How about? That is a good one. You like this?
Hawaii and the surrounding islands, please, a big Aloha to Jensen, Ackles, and Jared Padalecki.
I think I've never jumped in my life with so many lays. Don't start. Too easy.
Yeah, low-hanging fruit is what we call it.
How dare you?
We're in Jared's case.
Already, right there. We're gonna have to ask you to delete that photo you just took of him. I know you will, because
In Jared's case, it's pretty high-hanging fruit.
Thank you, good night, everybody. It's been a great weekend. Thank you. All right, it's official. They're yours. Have at it, Hawaii. Enjoy it.
Hey, real quick announcement. You see your name on the screen right here. We need you to get up this side of the stage because we see it's a Jensen Ackles. And that side of the stage. Otherwise, we're just going to be up here not answering any questions.
It's the wrong list. That's from Toronto. It's the wrong list.
It's the
from
wrong
Toronto.
list. Oh, come on now. Snap.
Yes. Okay. So like we just found it out.
Listen, we only got an hour. We can do this the entire time. It says your name. Please line up. It says my name is going to line up. My question is for Jensen. I'm such a big fan. Founder. So when you did the scene that one time where you were so handsome, how did you handsome so much? I can't believe I'm talking to you in person. Well, sir, I'm Black Jazz. You're so tall. And my follow-up question is, if you didn't have bow legs, how tall would you be? 7 feet. And regarding your first part of your question, handsome generally starts like this. That's how that goes. Answer the question, Mr. Ackles. All right, get on up here, guys. That's y'all's thing. All right, this is the right list. Y'all get up here. Let's see what else for you. Is there a... And that's how new bits are born. Is there a Deirdre Paulson in the audience? Nope, good talk. Okay. Is there a Nicole Meisner in the audience? Good talk. Okay. And we wait. Oh, okay, we have questions. And what's your name?
Hi, I'm Deirdre.
Hi, Deirdre. Yes! You didn't yell when I said Deirdre. Deirdre.
So I was the sweepstakes winner, so I'm super excited to be here.
Yes.
Contest, we got a t-shirt or an
Oh boy! Awesome.
Yeah, so I bought a t-shirt.
Yes, no.
Sure.
I'm sorry to keep yelling at you. That's amazing.
Thanks. So I just graduated with my PhD in psychology.
My job. That's amazing.
So this was my graduation gift, so I was really happy to win. So we talked about mental health, and I was thinking about your guys' job and how you travel all the time, and it's really important to have mental health days, and just wondering how you guys manage being away from family or traveling all the time and the impact that has on your mental health.
Very poorly. Thanks for bragging. No, you know what, that is, I will say that in my opinion, this is a very blessed thing to be able to say, but the worst part of my life is being away from people I love, you know? So I realize what a blessing that is to say, because a lot of people are I've been very, you know, I've been working in business for 18 years, and I can afford dinner, I can afford my rent, so I don't have these really pressing issues. I mean it. Like, it sounds like a really a-hole thing to say, but I'm saying I'm very grateful. Like, I grew up with parents who worked hard, and we had to, you know.
How does that you can afford your rent?
You know.
We should sit down and talk about ownership at some point.
So you own in Vancouver?
It's not my home. But yes, to answer your question,
Burn! I'm gonna put you out.
that means I'm on fire.
Yeah, 'cause you got burned. So, it's very difficult.
I think Jared needs a me day.
Yeah, it's a good. We are both very blessed to be able to complain about not being around our family. You know what I mean? Our brothers and sisters and friends and family also don't see their. I lost them.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about like taking meetings.
Where are you going right now?
About mental health.
Apparently we need to devote some time to it.
It's difficult to take meetings, but you know what? I think we try to do as much as we can to see our family as much as we possibly can. That's my Deirdre, Mr. Ackles.
I don't think about it. Hi. Thanks, Deirdre.
Thank you very much.
Hi.
And congrats on your PhD. That's very nice.
Hi, my name is Chad. I'm recently retired from the Marine Corps. So I'm open to any new jobs. My question is though, did you expect this kind of fan base when you first started? Like when the show started, did you expect to have a 99.9% women fan base?
Have you met Jared?
I'm gonna guess that's why you're here, Chad. That's why I'm 99% female families.
I know, I brought my wife, well she brought me, but I'm really into the show.
Okay. Hey, thank you for your service, man. Is that a New Jersey accent? Are you from New Jersey?
I'm in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
So close. No, I'm from Dublin, Ireland.
See, I knew that. Some of the audience just went, see?
Yeah, and they dropped the proverbial mic. I don't think we necessarily set out to get any kind of specific demographic. We were literally just hoping anybody would watch the show. He and I were both fans of the script when we first got it, and I think we had a conversation. We're like, this is pretty decent. Like, we might actually get picked up and get a whole year out of this. And then
we might get 13 episodes.
yeah, and then once we started going, we're like, wow. I mean, they're really promoting this, and I don't know. We were hard to miss that first year if you were in any American city.
Like Dublin, Ireland.
Yeah. They promoted us very. They put a lot of marketing money on us, and
It's green.
that's right. There was like. Anyway, at that point, it was kind of the biggest thing that he and I had really been a part of.
Whoa. New York Minute?
Yes. Dude, we both had projects that would devour.
A global phenomenon, that one. So, yeah, it got to the point where we were like, you know, we hope people see what we see in this, and it turned out that there's a lot of smart ladies in this world. And a few intelligent men as well.
Like Chad, I think we sort of lucked out also. I think you can kind of recognize, looking back, one of the death knell, I would say, albatrosses of a show is when they try to appeal to a specific audience, because you end up alienating all the other audiences, and then you end up alienating the audience you set out to kind of target in the first place. So we remained kind of about the story, and that's partially us, probably more heavily based on the writers. Like there were a lot of things that, you know, when nothing, I'm just using Coca-Cola as an example, I don't know if they actually did, but Eric Kripke wouldn't accept advertisers on the show. Like there'll be, you know, Coke says like, hey, if Sam and Dean are drinking a Coke, I'll give you $100,000. And he was like, nah. Well, but it's $100,000. Like, no, I don't care. I'm like, okay, well, if you use this blah, 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 we'll give you $30,000. Like, nah. You know? Like, he remained true to the story, true to these guys, true to their journey, true to their sacrifice and their dedication and loyalty. And so we were able to be a part of that. And I think because I read like a John Mayer tweet a couple days ago that was like, eventually all fads will be considered stupid, so just remain yourself. And that's kind of where we are. You know, like we passed all the fads because Supernatural stayed very true to Supernatural. And so here we are 13 years later with y'all guys. And thanks for your service, man.
Thank you, and thank you for that. Huh?
There you go.
Thank you.
Cheers, Chad. Be good.
Hi there.
Hi guys, how are you? First, thank you so much for both of you and Misha for bringing the characters to life like the
Let's take the rest of it. Let's do each other.
Okay, well, thank you anyway. My question's mainly for Jared. Jared, with your history of pranking the guys with porn, have you ever showed them a parody for the Nightmare Before Christmas porn?
I've never heard of the Nightmare Before Christmas.
Then you should watch at least the first 3 minutes.
I've never. Just 3? There are so many places to go.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
No.
Here's the song, you need to listen to it.
Listen to it? He listens to Nightmare Before Christmas porn. Just listen to it.
Just remember that the movie was actually musical, so there's a certain part to the parody and the porn. This is what we're doing.
Got it. In all fairness, the pornography, the pornographic material I prank people with is usually not a video because it's more about the shock factor because it's difficult to show, like if it's a scene between Sam and Dean, I can't go like, watch the first 3 minutes, Dean. It's more about like if I turn the computer towards somebody and there's a giant on the screen.
You don't have to watch it, just listen.
Well, that's, I think I'm doing a poor job of describing my intent. So I think a lot of what I do with the rumors of putting stuff on a computer is it's more about the second if the camera's rolling and it's your coverage and I pretend to be looking up like, you know, Got it. Thank you for your question. Hello.
Aloha, in the words of Dean, son of a bitch.
is an interesting segue.
So, thank you guys for coming out and being with us this weekend. My daughter, I made a dream come true for her. She got to hug you this morning, Jensen, in the photo op.
Whoa.
Yeah, she calls him, her TV boyfriend.
So do I.
So my question
She's
is,
cute as hell.
Guys,
What's her name?
Talia.
Talia.
Yeah.
She's a sweetheart.
Thank you. So my question is, with the wayward daughters taking off, will the Winchesters do an appearance on it? And would you possibly see yourself directing an episode of that, Jensen?
Yes and yes. Next. We inevitably are part of the first 2 episodes because it's part of our season. Let's not watch the first 3 minutes.
Watch the second 3 minutes now. So the first 3 minutes is pretty good.
I mean,
like my TV boyfriend was saying, we love to be a part of that world. Not that world.
If the spin-off is successful, the show takes off, which I certainly hope it does, then yes, he and I have talked about it. We'd love to come and kind of, dip into that world every now and again. And I think it would be great. And I also think I would love the opportunity to direct one of those episodes if that does present itself. So, thank you.
My question is, would you ever consider doing a supernatural live episode? And if you did, who would be the first to mess it up?
Misha, because I saw you. I can see you on the screen. So it wouldn't be his own fault. I would be working very, very vigorously and committedly I'd be very dedicated to breaking Misha, so they probably never, or Alexander, so they probably could never do a live. Would you want to do a live? It'd be difficult. We have to do stunts and visual effects and stuff. We could do a live flashback episode where it's just us sitting. You remember that Wendigo?
That would be tricky. I mean, I'm sure logistically it has been done and could be done, but it would certainly be a different show than what you're used to seeing.
The closest we did was probably the original Ghostfacers, where it was really raw, really handheld, or Baby, or the original one with the vampires and the sort of the background. I would do every remaining episode of the line. Maybe every time. I'll sign the contract.
That would be, but look, I wouldn't put it past the writers to come up with some crazy idea like that. They keep surprising us with some of the stuff that they do. So you can never really count anything out of what they come up with. It's just a matter of being able to do it logistically, but who knows?
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Hi.
You two and Misha and your castmates have a lot of qualities and do a lot of things that so many of us look up to and inspire us. But could you talk for a few minutes about some of the qualities and actions within each other and the other cast members that inspire you and that you look up to?
I would rather redirect this question, and in all honesty, ourselves or our castmates talk about y'all, because it's very easy to support and love somebody that you see every day, that you sacrifice with every day, that you go to bat with every day. That's not difficult, but for y'all to support us in such a way that we feel comfortable going out to 3 or 4 or however many million people via social media that have never met us, never seen us in person, don't really know the content of our character, but y'all make us feel comfortable. Like, I've got pretty terrible anxiety. Like, my definition of a nightmare is getting up on stage and grabbing a guitar and singing in front of people I don't really know personally.
Billy, how does that make you feel? You're his living nightmare.
I ran, I hate it. With all my heart. But no, I mean it. Like, it's not really about Jensen or Jared or Misha or the rest of the gang. It's really about y'all guys. Y'all are the foundation. You know, we play pretend for a living. You know, Chad is sitting here with his Philadelphia accent, having sacrificed for us, enjoying time with his wife, and spending their own time. Y'all are spending your own time. You're like the whole game. We wear makeup for a living and play pretend. Y'all are the ones who bolster us and make it meaningful. You know, if a tree falls in the forest, I don't know, but we fall in front of you guys, so, and y'all pick us back up. I don't know, that's a weird tangent.
That one got turned around on you, didn't it? I'll give a quick answer for you. I mean, I agree with everything Jared said, and I will take an opportunity to brag on the people that I work with. Usually when it's given, it's not normally in front of those people, but you know, there's many reasons, really a lot of whys and hows that have gone into the success of the show, and I think one of those reasons is because of the people that it employs. Not just he and I and Misha and the Marks and, you know, there's the list of them, but the crew especially. And I think that the qualities that we all have in common, that we all share, that we all vibe off of each other, are really what give the heart and soul to what we do on a daily basis. So Misha brings his own set of quirky ways, and we love him for it. Jared's got his quirky ways, and I love him for it. I'm sure I do too, and it's all the differences that make us a whole. And I think you take one of those away, and there's something missing. So I enjoy the collaboration that we have, not only as a cast, but as a crew and as a family. It's really a beautiful thing to see.
That's awesome. Thank you.
So Supernatural has some digital effects, but you guys do a lot of practical effects, and you do like real stunts. And I was wondering, what was the coolest one you ever saw or got to do?
So for me, the coolest one I ever got to do is very easy. It's the jumping through the glass window. The coolest thing I saw was when I think Castiel either tackled Angel out of the window or something. Long story short, they jumped 4 stories out of the building in Westminster, British Columbia, which was terrifying. We're all sitting on the street, and sure enough, when we hit this window, okay, and rolling, and blah, blah, ready. Well, I was looking, action! And all of a sudden, these 2 guys, like in a trench coat, and somebody else come out of a 4th floor window, just barreling through the air and fall under safe. Between that and when Sam got hit by a car, watching my stunty Mike Carpenter get hit by a car without a helmet because Sam was not wearing a helmet. So as the photo double stunt man for Sam Winchester, if I'm not wearing a helmet, you can't wear a helmet. So he's just getting flipped in the air by a car. It was like mortifying. And we're all sitting there going like, are we about to witness something really bad about to happen? But between, so my favorite was jumping out of the church stained glass window. Episode 10 or something? 9, 10, Heaven and Hell. Heaven and Hell, is that what it was? It was Alistair and... Yeah, Jules, where are you? There you are. Is something now? And when did Misha come out of the plate yesterday? Third man. And then, yeah, and then when did Sam get hit by a car? Born again identity. Yeah, born identity, yeah. Awesome. Yeah, so those three were exciting to me.
When did Sam get hit by a car for 200?
There's, by the way, has anybody in here ever looked, gonna sell you out, anybody in here ever looked at the website Supernatural Wiki or the app? Can you hear for Jules? Can you stand up, please? A week that goes by that I don't refer to it. I mean it. And everybody on set, like, you are more famous than you realize. So, thank you. I'm like, what was that? 1 second. So, it's appreciated. Yeah, so those are mine.
Special effects, there's been, I mean, obviously there's a lot, and I do feel like when we have an opportunity to do practical effects, we try to do them. But some of the ones that kind of stand out to me are good ones and bad ones. Ones that have gone great, ones that have gone wrong. I'll start with bad. It was just another Friday night body burn in the set of Supernatural. We were in a what do you call it? Earth. No, above Earth. Above ground caskets. Mausoleum. So it was a small mausoleum. There was one coffin in there, and I walk in, and I don't know why I was the only one in there. I think you were like doing something outside.
Don't blame me.
Anyway,
don't blame me.
So what happened was they put accelerant, and they put a pilot basically, like inside the coffin, and then I strike the matches, throw it in, and then they crank the gas, so it's all plumbed and everything. But there's accelerant. There's like this jelly stuff that's accelerant that they paint inside of the coffin so that it ignites very quickly. Well, they painted in there, and a little too much time had passed, and the off gas from that accelerant had started to build up inside the coffin, and it was all enclosed, so there was no like wind or night air to kind of blow it out. And it was basically now.
I'm hearing off gas and wanting to make a joke.
And so the fumes basically had built up so much that as soon as I lit the thing, it exploded in my face, and the microphone, the boom operator had a felt type of cover over the boom microphone, was about 3 or 4 feet above my head, got completely singed off. And by the way, I was like leaning over it, and it was just this explosion of fire, and luckily I just went like that, got out of the way. Needless to say, the special effects team was very upset. They were very apologetic. But I'm like, hey guys, this stuff happens. Like, it wasn't your fault. I know you didn't mean it. I trust these guys to do a lot. And they're great. Those kinds of incidences don't happen very often, which is why I remember it, or why I remember it so well. And then another one that I remember very well was when Dean gets killed in season.
Which seasons?
The Hellhounds.
Great.
Season 3. Nailed it. I had to.
It took 30 seconds to figure it out.
I had to. My entire wardrobe had tubes running to it. They wouldn't do this practical anymore after that day. This would be all in visual effects, but that day they decided to go practical, and so they had monofilament attached by like one thread to 6 different parts of my t-shirt that when the invisible claw rips, somebody actually pulls on the fishing line and the fabric of my shirt actually does rip open. And then at that point, another guy has a giant syringe about that big around and depresses it. It's full of blood and it runs up my leg and then just starts gurgling out of my chest. And then I had to stay with that stuff for about 6 hours. And it's corn syrup, so it hardens and turns into like candy. So I was like a walking Jolly Rancher.
Would he be?
You said sour apple. You're right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So my question is from the most recent episode that you guys did with the ghoul that aired. In it, like, the sheriff kind of gets sucked underground and leans, like, over the hole, and he's like, no, I don't want to go in there. And then he, like, goes in, and it's super funny. I wanted to know if that was, like, improv or not, and then also, like, what this season you guys have done so far to just, like, add into your characters.
Yeah, that whole tunnel thing, that was all improv. The not wanting to go in fact, it lasted a lot longer than I think I tried to go in about 3 times. I was like, no, oh, come on! And I was like talking myself into going, and then I'd get like one leg in, and at one point I was like, all right, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna go, what was that? Okay. I think I threw something in, and then I threw my flashlight in. It's like, okay. I mean, it was, Nina was like, I need you to go into the hole, please, at some point tonight. But the thing is the hole was only...
Are you watching that porn again?
Yeah, let's watch the 3 minutes after we're done talking. So that tunnel, that hole that they dug in that ground was only maybe 4 feet to 5 feet deep. And if you notice, I went in pretty quick. Like yep. And that was, You're just down there, aren't you? Just like Pennywise, aren't you? And you got it. So anyway, there you go. You're welcome. You're not welcome.
Hi.
Hi.
My question is, would you come back to Hawaii to do another convention? And if so, which island would you come back to?
I'd probably not. It's a little cold here. Weather's a bit shoddy. I'd rather go someplace that's nice and, of course we'd come back. This place is amazing. This is my first time here, so I don't know. Is there another island we should go to? Oh. Kona?
That's the big island.
It's the big island. That's Hawaii.
Nope, don't answer. Yeah, that's it.
Oahu.
Yes, that's what I want.
Right, that's this island.
It is Kona.
Also known as, is this known as like the main island?
No.
What's the main island?
Hawaii.
That's the big island.
Yes.
There's main and big are different.
Because this is like the gathering place. Oahu. All right.
I want to go to,
This is capital, right?
Kauai.
Honolulu.
Isn't Kauai, what's the least popular?
Hawaii.
Kauai. I was saying so I've been to a few, I've been to Kona, I've been to Maui, I've been to Maui. but there's one, either Lanai or Kauai, that are the least popular. Just that one. Lanai, yeah. All of them. I mean, let's be honest. I'm sure we go to every single island that's part of the Hawaiian Islands. It's stunning out here, so thank y'all for bringing this out.
Maybe we can have like a progressive convention where like each day is on a different island. This question, everybody that works in creation is going.
The stage talks about
That's a hard pass.
Hawaii, the autographs are on some buses, some planes to different planes. I'm in, thank you, creation. Thanks, guys. Yeah, thank you so much.
Hi there.
Hello. My question is, what's the coolest scars y'all have?
Funny you should ask. Scars. I don't know.
I have a piece of pencil. Yeah. So it's the lead from a typical pencil that my girlfriend in 7th grade stabbed me in the eye. It's there, it's right there.
I have a chainsaw scar, so.
You have a chainsaw scar? I'll go with the pencil. I'm sorry. How? Do we know?
No, I didn't do it to myself, so.
I have a very fresh scar. It looks like a hellhound scratch. It's not a real.
She got cut with a chainsaw, dude.
Because I'm scared.
Can I assume this was an accident?
Yes, very much so.
Okay, because if you said no, then I'm in. I want the full story.
It was an accident. I was holding a tree limb and he brought it down too quick.
Why were you holding a tree limb?
Got it.
Because he was trimming it and I was trying to be nice.
Who's he?
My friend Remington.
Is
Her
Remington
ex-friend, Remington. Wow. No, I don't have my hands are kind of scarred up a bit. I have a nice one here on my finger that happened on set while I was chambering around on my 1911, the Dean's pistol, and it got jammed. So in an effort to quickly unjam it before they yelled action, I just re-racked it really quickly, but my hand slipped and the meat of this finger got caught into the
middle of the tape.
it literally was like whack, and then I ripped it out and just a big flap of skin, and I looked at it and it was just like, and then they go action, and so I held the flap of skin down with my tongue and then did the take, and then looked down and there was just blood all over my hand. I was like, well, that probably doesn't work. Yes.
A couple of weeks ago, a month ago maybe, this season of shooting, I was in my driveway playing with Tom and Shep, and they were riding their scooters, and they were like, Dad, let's ride. And I was like, I didn't have shoes on, so I was like, well, all right. And I was like, we always wear helmets. So I went to the garage, grabbed a helmet, and then grabbed my bike, so I was riding my bike, and we were going around in circles in the driveway, and Shep came to a really abrupt stop in front of me, and so I had to sort of come to a really abrupt stop as well to not smash over him. And being barefoot on a bike, let's see if I can go. Let's see. I have like a.
I remember that, right? It literally looked like a mountain lion guy.
Yeah. It's hard to see, but I'll just see what it does. You can see. It's kind of nasty, but it didn't go away.
But you win, okay? Let's be clear about it. You win.
I'll take the bronze medal. I'll take third place.
Yeah.
Chainsaw beats bicycle. rock, paper, scissors. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Hey, tell Remington to be careful. And as far as you go, stop holding tree branches. Come on now.
Hi.
Hi.
Aloha. My question is, what moment in the series so far were you the most proud of each other's characters?
Characters or... I mean, there's so much. I don't want to be dumb-faced, but... The time they did that thing, they were just like, you know, and everything was... No, there's not one. There are a bunch. What was yours? Can you narrow down to one?
When Sam hit the doctor ghost who was about to drill my face, and he came in, and I was pretty proud of him then. Because I didn't die.
I'm going to be really weird and say that I'm most proud of Dean for many, many things, but I think it's not difficult for me to understand his sacrifice these days, as far as when he sacrifices for his brother, for his friends, for his mother, for cat, whatever. So I'm going to go back to the Dean that showed up in my dorm room in the pilot and asked for help when we hadn't spoken. Honestly, like that was more out of his comfort zone. And I think he's probably been since. It was one of these, like I know things like that. It's not difficult for me to see how Dean sacrificed his life for Sam these days. He's done it many times and vice versa. So I'm going to go back to going out of his comfort zone to start this whole show we call Supernatural.
Hi, my name's Marianne.
I'm Marianne.
I don't know if you guys have control over this, but with
No.
with the Supernatural fundraisers, the last time I saw the very first, the original baby, it was on the back lot in pieces. If it's still there, would you ever consider cannibalizing it and offering it to the fan base? In little pieces.
Wouldn't that be so disturbing? Yeah. Like, I mean,
Yes.
cool.
We had a bridge, a historic bridge in my hometown.
Right.
It's like a Berlin Wall, like here's a chunk.
It got taken out by ice one year, and the next year to raise funds to replace it, they offered little pieces of it with a hand-painted picture of it and sold them off to raise funds.
Very smart.
Yeah,
Somebody's
so-
using their head over there.
Was it taken away by ice? Was it put back together by fire?
Though I think it would, though it's a good idea, I think with the car, that would be heartbreaking. You cut it up into
Yes, no, never.
pieces. That being said, that car that you did see is, I believe, still in the same shape that it was. We have about 6 different Impalas at varying stages of like assembly. We have about 3 that are fully functional cars, and then we have another 3 that are, one there's no engine, the doors are off, the one has a roof off, so we can utilize it to shoot different angles and different things. So the other one you probably saw was one of our like 5 or 6, the 5th or 6th car.
I can neither confirm nor deny that I may or may not have the original decal pal from the finale of season 1, little hunker. I can't confirm or
We know you
deny
do.
it.
Everybody knows you do.
I cannot confirm nor deny it. Call me Jared Kushner. I don't know.
But who knows, maybe there's some other stuff that we can figure out something to do with. That is a good idea.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Thanks a bunch.
Hi there.
Hello, this is my first convention, so I'm excited that I got to ask you guys a question.
Awesome.
So my question is, what's your weirdest talent?
Weirdest?
Gills was belly rolling.
Was it like the worm?
No, like where you roll your belly.
No, the worm.
It's just called the worm.
I can tie cherry strings into a knot in my...
What was it?
I can tie cherry strings into a knot in my mouth.
Yeah.
Girl. It seems weird to me.
It is weird if you continue to do it.
What else am I going to do with the cherry strings?
Throw it away.
But you can still throw it away when it's a knot, or can you not? Is this the knot? Or can you not? What's your weirdest talent?
I'm like double jointed in my elbow, so just like weird when I do this. That's better.
Come here.
This is my weird talent. Look at me.
Thank you so much. Go ahead and, hey, can we bring the lights up a little bit in the room? I just want to see our supernatural family. Do we have good songs? Good
Mouse
songs.
lights.
You sure looking at a whole lot now. Is Stephen Norton, there we go, bring the lights. I just want to see y'all in shadows and silhouettes.
So, we have a last question.
All right, better be good.
So I've heard you mention before that you get a kick out of that meme that shows the different hairstyles of Sam. You know, it's Sam Dean's is always the same. I know it's heavy, but when the show's over and you're no longer contractually obligated to keep your hair the way it is, are you guys both going to change your hair up?
Good question. Ackles, you want to start this bit off?
Yeah, I'll probably steal one of his wigs for a while. I'll probably change mine up a bit. I don't know what that's going to be, but yeah, I'll probably, it's been the same for quite a while. Be nice change up. Are you ever going to cut that?
I think I'll probably steal your wig. I'm going to go full mountain man. No shave, no cut, just full on. Or I'm going to steal Jensen's wig. And try it. Steal Jensen's wig! I suck. Thank you.
Hey Jared, you're the one again about Jensen.
Steal Jensen's wig! Over 4.
Yeah.
Over like 8. Thank you, Hawaii, very, very much.
It's Steve Norton's last show with the band, everybody. It's been a pleasure, buddy. Ladies and gentlemen of Hawaii and the surrounding islands, Jensen, Ackles, and Jared Padalecki. Usually Robbie and I are backstage staring at the wall, and we were actually laughing and engaged during that time. Good stuff, Norton.
We're worried about Jordan's life.
I feel like people in the room enjoyed that joke. I wonder how the people online will take it. I don't know. People online are given to taking sides in these situations. Hashtag Fire Norton, baby. Why drummers hate Padalecki will be an article. With some top drummers from the business discussing the pros and cons of being Norton. That was super funny. So listen, This is one of those days, usually we roll out the boys, they do their bit, we take them backstage, take off their toupees, deflate them, and move the show to the next town. But we have a bunch of other people coming out. Robbie, I don't even know what's happening right now. I just know that a bunch of other people, including you and me, are doing panels at some point.
That's right.
So Bobo's going to go find out what's going on, and I'm going to stand here awkwardly.
Richard? We have a intermission situation. We have a half-hour intermission.
We're taking a break so the band can do their drugs.